What's up guys, it's Punchy, and today I'm not too excited to explain why guns are still a broken mess. I want to stress that I really enjoy using the new rifles and I enjoy Summer Company as an idea, but unfortunately not as a current game mechanic. I don't see any other content creators talking about guns, so I want to speak up about it. Before Layer 2, I had some concerns with bullets being useless and I suggested the addition of different munitions with specific uses. The prototypes I suggested were gold bullets slowing targets at the cost of damage, urethane bullets that made targets glow, aerosol bullets dealing anti-heal at the cost of damage, and umbral obsidian bullets dealing more damage at the cost of firing speed. This was written up and sent to the devs months ago, and I'm happy to say they translated some of these ideas into the game, but it's still a bit buggy. Rifles and handguns are supposed to use bullets to increase their range and damage capability. The entire existence of bullets are both good and bad for the users. The good part about bullets is that it gives you more potential and more options, but the bad part about bullets is that we'll never get a really solid gun because the devs might fear it would be overpowered with bullets. But I do want to say currently using bullets provides little to no advantage. The only upside to using bullets right now is an additional projectile shot that modifies rifles and guns that do not have range. As you can see, the blunderbuss fires a bullet when it normally doesn't fire at all. Unfortunately, every bullet damage has no deviation from the base value. There are no buffs and no nerfs to damage on any munition type. Base damage on the Rose and Peacemaker projectile without bullets deals 4% per M1 and 8% per crit. It's decent damage, but you'd expect it to increase with the use of regular iron bullets, and it does not. For this experiment, I'm aware the charm effect is decreasing my damage and everybody has different stats, but I would like to say the damage values stay the same throughout each test. Regular bullet damage deals 4% per M1 and deals identical crit damage as the base at about 8% on a crit. Currently, there is no point in using regular iron bullets if you want to increase your damage because it's the same as base. That being said, the new bullet prototypes have got to be useful, right? I mean, they even talked about fixing them in the current patch. Well, you'd be mistaken. To obtain these modified bullets, you'll have to mine some ore. Once equipped with your ore of choice, head on over to the Summer NPC and coat your bullets. You're not crafting special ammo, you're coating them instead. The first munition type we'll test is urethane. Urethane ammo is supposed to poison targets at the cost of damage. This was changed from my original idea of highlighting targets, and I'm a bit confused about the poison effect. At the cost of immediate damage, you're supposed to deal damage over time, which is reduced. This makes zero sense as a concept because why would you want to deal less damage over time? It doesn't make sense. I would compare this to the deferred enchant, but that actually gets a buff at the cost of delayed damage. This, on the other hand, is two downsides. Anyway, let's see the effect of urethane bullets in game. The appearance of the gunpowder ignition is green, which indicates the usage of the bullet, and I really like this. Unfortunately, the bullet's intended use is currently not working. On a single M1, you deal 4% damage, just like base, and 8% on a crit. It looks like the damage over time is non-existent because our health goes down instantly. Moving on to the aerosol munition, this one applies an anti-heal at the cost of damage. Instead of the urethane green, we get a blue effect on our gunpowder. When shooting your target, you continue to deal base damage around 4% on M1 and 8% on crit. There is no reduced damage, but the anti-heal seems to be very slight. The anti-heal effect does not linger and they can still heal with a bloodless right after, but the constant base healing is paused when they're being hit. The bullet effect actually works, but the damage is still the same. Moving on to the umbrelite bullets, they're supposed to get an increased damage buff at the cost of firing speed. We also get a purple gunpowder blast when using this munition. To fit in with the theme of all the other bullets, the damage is identical to base, 4% M1s and 8% crits, and the firing speed seems to be the same or even similar. Currently, there is no damage buff and no firing speed nerf. And the final bullet, gold, is much of the same. This option is extra broken because it's not consumed on use and probably doesn't even fire. As you can see, I'm hitting my friend over here and his movement speed is unchanged besides the initial stun. It's a shame that many, if not all of the bullet options do not work because they were mentioned in several patch notes. Just because they don't work does not mean that's the only problem. One more thing they could apply in game is the addition of a munition cycle. If I want to use different types of bullets, I cannot decide which one I'm using. I feel like if you're using dual guns or a rifle, you could press Y to switch bullets. Instead of switching between a one-handed and two-handed weapon stance, the type of bullet would change instead. I'm not going to tell people how to play, but I will say that rifles and guns are very underpowered right now, and that's because they're not using bullets. The bullets are there in order to give them options and increase their damage, but right now that's just not working. So do what you want to do, but at the moment guns are not that great. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the current state of Deepwoken guns. I really want to see these weapons succeed, but at the moment it's really hard to support this weapon type. Thanks for watching and make sure to like and subscribe. Have a good one.